everyone, and welcome to Behind the Bower. This is Ryan Steffen, the Executive Director for Bower Center for the Arts in beautiful Bedford, Virginia. This podcast is all about inspiring conversations, exploring the arts in our community, and shining a spotlight on the incredible individuals, artists, and organizations that make the Central Virginia art scene so vibrant. I am so excited today to welcome our guest, singer-songwriter Akeylah Simone. Her music blends rock, R&B, pop, and jazz into a sound that's uniquely her own. She is a Virginia Commission for the Arts touring artist and has gained recognition for her original music and dynamic live performances. We're excited to learn more about her musical journey, her creative process, and the story behind the songs, especially because we're bringing you here in just a couple weeks. Hello, Akeylah.
Hello. How's everybody doing today?
We're great. Thank you for joining us. So what I would like to do first is let's just start at the beginning. Tell us a little bit about you and maybe your background and how you found the music.
Sure. Oh, goodness. The music, I wouldn't even say found the music. I was born with the music. The moment my mom popped me out, that I started singing. I came out this way. But I come from a family of musicians. So my name is Akeylah Simone. I'm from the Hampton Roads, VA area. So go VA, go Virginia. So excited to be traveling to you all here soon. My life has always been around music. My parents were extremely eclectic. My mom, even going back to my grandparents, my grandfather was a jazz musician down in New Orleans. My mom plays like 15 plus instruments. And then my dad, also Bobby Black Hat, he plays the harmonica and sings and tours as well. So it's just in my blood. It's in my blood all around. So I was born into the music. It's just always been in my life.
It's the only thing you were going to be able to do, right?
It's really it. Yeah.
So tell me, since music has been part of your whole life, what are some of your deepest and longest musical memories, whether they be your family, yourself? What are some of those memories that you think are maybe like core memories that have made you who you are?
Oh man, I would absolutely say I've been a songwriter my whole life. I have memories of, I want to say maybe like 4 or 5 years old, following my mom or my dad around the house and just whatever they're doing in the house with my baby brothers and sisters, just trying to be adults and parents and keep the other siblings alive. I'm just in my own little sing-song world, singing them these hour-long songs. I thought that's how long songs were supposed to last. I'm like, just whatever melody or whatever lyrics were on top of my, I just pouring my heart out to them in song, just following them around the house. Like that was, I apologize. I'm trying to cook dinner and bathe the kids and stuff. I'm just sitting there singing my little heart out to her.
It reminds me, I grew up, I was a musical theater person. And I also sang songs about everything. And I would have people say, life is not a musical. And I'm like, maybe your life isn't, but my life is.
Yeah, hold on. I'm sorry. I had you got to do with this.
So, since music has been around your whole life, how would you describe the evolution of your music to where it is right now?
Oh goodness. Because I started writing songs really, really young, there was definitely a time period of just learning what songwriting is and structure and all the different elements that come with songwriting. And that grew over time, with school, my parents, other programs and whatnot that I was interested, other programs and whatnot, just growing up and whatnot, just learning about songwriting. But I think a huge monumental moment for me as a songwriter and where my music is now, and my brand as is the authenticity around music. Almost full circle going back to how I used to sing my little hour-long songs back then, where I learned music is infinite to us as human beings. We will not ever hear as the full capacity of every sound, every tone, every frequency in our lifetime and all the different variations of it. And I live by that. I've made it my mission to hear as many as possible, perform as many as possible, to experience as many as possible. And the best way to do that is with other musicians. So with my brand as is, and we're kind of finding my sound, is one, kind of establishing that I don't have a set sound. I'm very genre fluid. What we're feeling in that moment, what I'm feeling in the moment as I'm writing, as I'm composing, as I'm producing, as I'm performing, is what you're going to get. And I have that same expectation for the musicians I perform with or produce with. So
Oh, I love that.
that's kind of where thank you. Like that's kind of where I am now, where, you know, a lot of artists go through that, finding our sound, finding our sound. If I had to take a piece of my music and say, what is the Akeylah Simone like touch, the signature, it's definitely going to be the vocal, the harmonies or whatnot, my vocal productions. Um, I will say they remain the same, but you know, it's my sound, it's my voice. My voice is definitely my signature. But other than that, I want it to be free, and and that's what the experience is with my music. You don't necessarily know what to expect, except that it will
Yeah.
be very in the moment, often and different.
Yeah. So from like an artist perspective, what I love is that it's not about sharpening and pointing it to one specific sound. It's a little bit more of the opposite. It's about exploding it out, exploring,
Yes.
seeing what you can find, discovering in that moment, whether it be in the studio or even on a stage, what happens if, you know?
Absolutely.
So, you know, you talked about writing songs. You've been writing songs your whole life. And I'm not sure if this is an easy question to answer. Do you start with the lyrics? Do you start with an idea? Like, where do you begin? Do you just play with vocals? How do you start a song?
I the most common way the music starts for me is I the best way I can describe it is it drops into my spirit. Like I'll be I could be doing anything. And a melody will hit me. It's usually the melody first. Maybe like a hook, just a few lyrics here or there. That kind of hits me. I capture it in that moment. I'll use like voice notes or jot something down if I have my studio up here at home, if I'm nearby, it's accessible, quiet enough, all those things. Then I'll hop over there and start recording it. And then I just wait. I don't try to push music out after that. I just wait for the rest. It's
Okay.
really, I'll keep singing as it keeps dropping into my spirit. I'll keep singing it and see how it kind of progresses naturally. Um, but rarely do I actually sit down with the task of writing a full song.
Okay.
I'll wait till all of those elements kind of fall into place, and then I'll sit down with it and go, oh, I actually have a song in front of me. Let's go. And then
So,
we'll continue to flesh it out after that. But
yeah.
for the most part, it kind of just drops in my spirit. I wake up with music. That's something I actually went to the doctors about. I thought I was going crazy, and the full diagnosis, there is a touch of psychosis there. But like
For all
I
of us,
wake
isn't there?
I wake up with right, like that stays between us, right? But no, like, we I wake up every morning with all like a full production in my head. I wake up singing it, and as I'm coming out of that subconscious state, like I try to capture it, and I learned over time there's a lot of anxiety that comes with trying to capture the abundance of music that's placed in me, and I've actually taken a step back and gone, nah, there's more. Like there will always be more. So I just enjoy my little productions. But some of those sit. Like even this morning I woke up, grabbed my phone real quick, and grabbed the voice notes as much as I could because I just loved it. And we'll see where that one takes us. You might have a new song in a year or so.
I had a question, but the last thing you just said is I would love at some point to just eavesdrop on your voice notes at some point because it has to be just an intriguing like study into who you are. I can see it being some ideas, some melody you've just hummed or sung. I feel it'd be a really great
Wow.
story just with that.
You know what? We're gonna save that for years and years after I've passed, and you go to produce my documentary.
Absolutely. All right.
Like,
Sign me up. I'll be in
you can name
charge.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
So you say you wake up listening, hearing music and feeling music. What is it that inspires you? Is it nature? Is it the world around you? Is it what you're feeling? What inspires that music inside of you?
That's a good question that I have not quite explored myself. But I will
Okay.
say, like,
It wasn't on the list.
I
I'm
will
sorry.
say, I'm flipping through. Like, wait, we didn't cover this, but we but it's a great question because uh, honestly, I can say it has to do with who I am as a person, the authenticity that comes with the human experience and being present and being in the moment. I think a lot of where my inspiration comes from, or when I, have these melodies or these lyrics that drop into my spirit, have to do when I'm very intentional around being present and being observant and taking in my surroundings and um, taking it, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, um, and just using music as that element to get it out, that just to push it out.
Yeah.
But it's very all of those things are our practice, and I think especially over the years, just because music hasn't always come to me so easily, but now I do seem to have this abundance of it uh, as far as like the songwriting goes, and I think it is definitely a reflection and a result of just practicing being in the moment and taking the time to process in a healthy way, in a very intentional way, all of my experiences as a human being on this here planet for the first time.
I'm glad I made you think of that answer.
Oh, I'm glad we recorded that. I'm not going to say it
Now
again.
you can remember, you can write a voice note about it later on.
Yes. That's right after.
All right. So just to remind all of our listeners, you're going to be with us on June 13th. That's just like in a week and a half. So I guess my first question is, I know you've never performed in this venue, and this may or may not be a surprise. We are an old church sanctuary. We have the most gorgeous acoustics. We do not have the most comfortable
Oh,
chairs. I'm working on that. But
okay.
I would love to know what is this show going to look like that we're going to see from you in a week and a half.
Oh goodness. It could look like a few things. Remember, we're very, very in the moment,
I
but
love it.
one of the more one of the more common experiences that we hear from fans and folks that are hearing this for the first is the inspiration, is the we feed that fire that everybody has light that's in them. We feed that light. That is my job as a musician, and I take it very seriously to make sure that down to the chord progressions, down to the order of the set list, down to where we put our solos and where I sing these certain notes and whatnot. Because there is a science behind it, but my job and my mission is to feed that light in you, and that's what I want everyone to expect. Is that yes, it's the music. Music is so important. It's a universal language, and I think it's the easiest way to feed that light because it is a universal language, right?
Right.
Everybody can sit with a musician and sit with music, um, and in some way, shape, or form, uh, receive it in a way to understand someone else's story, receive it in a way to connect with it, with their own story and experience or theirs, to sympathize with it, however you experience it. But that's what I want everyone to expect. Yes, we do rock out. We like to get loud. We do like to get loud, but we'll bring it right back down. We'll bring it right back down. We go all over the place with it, but it's a very special moment for Bedford, citizens of Bedford. This will be our special moment with the music and how
Absolutely.
we experience it in that moment. Rock, jazz, R&B, little hip hop. I I don't say I'm a rapper. People say that I'm a rapper. I like to call it like spoken word something, but like
Okay.
a little
Spoken on
bit
the
of
beat.
that too. But like exactly, you got a little rhythm in there, um, but it's my story. These are my testimony. Just it's how I choose to connect with you all and feed that light.
That's great. So you say we, and I feel like we should acknowledge, like, while you are the singer and you are the songwriter, you do bring a team with you. Can you tell us a little bit about who you're bringing and how they contribute to the sound as a whole?
Oh! I'm so excited for this part. Okay. So we are bringing. I usually work with a camp of musicians, but in the past year or so, a little over a year now, I have locked in a wonderful band that I tour with. First up, we have Bernard, his name, Chinedu, that's his birth name. We can call him Bernard. Bernard Easy on keys. He is behind a lot of the stage production. So I mentioned earlier the difference between, what I do in the studio with the writing, how that's kind of my thing,
Mm-hmm.
and what comes to me as a producer and as an artist. But then in my as is way, shape, and form, I bring the music to the band. It's usually Bernard first as the keyboard player, and we reimagine the song. And Bernard goes into his one of 3,000 sounds and he reproduces the song for the stage, um, for all of us. And then we actually, I mean, we all do that. But then we also have Dion Langley on drums. He is another amazing musician from Hampton Roads, Virginia. Here, he actually has his own band that's kept secret. He's a smooth jazz musician. He's amazing. He is amazing. We work out of his studio, and he always knows what to say to uplift folks. He's on the drums. He doesn't say much on stage, but you're going to hear it out of his instrument. You're going to hear his passion. And you're going to hear, that's his safe space. You're going to hear how in love he is with his instrument. And then we have Bill, Mr. Bill Gaines, Dollar Bill, on bass. That's another musician. Bill and I were kind of one of the same, where we play by ear. And we play what we feel. We're not so worried about it fitting in the box. We're worried about what is needed in that moment. Bill, he's another amazing musician, bass player out of Hampton Roads, Virginia, Virginia.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. They all understand that when we get on that stage, yes, quality is important. We are tight. We make sure everything is where it needs to be for the venue, for our audience, for our market. We are on that, but we also make sure that we remember to look at each other and go, we are human beings, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have grace for each other. We're a little family. We really are. And that comes out in our sound together. It's very in the moment. Um, we will have a bass player will not be with us this time. He will be missed. This will be the first time he's not with us on a
Okay.
close up in some time. So we'll be a little sad. You guys are going to have to help us out with that. But it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, another thing that we do as well outside of the musicians that I tour with is usually, and I haven't decided if I'm going to do this with Bedford yet. I might do it at the last moment. Is we like to bring in at least one or two local musicians to sit in on one or two songs.
Oh yeah.
So that's actually a fun thing to do for each tour stop. And we let me see if I can wrap my head around it for this next one. But if you're listening and you're a musician, a guitar player, sax player, any melodic instrument, you guys want to sit in on the set, hit me up, Akeylah Simone. You might play a few songs.
Yeah. You may end up in Hampton Roads in a recording studio with you if you don't watch out.
Exactly. I'll bring you over.
So real quickly, I'll tell everybody here. So we found you originally through the Virginia Commissions for the Arts touring artist roster. That's where we started. That's where we were first introduced to you. And then like any good art center, we did our homework and we listened to your YouTube videos and we listened to your music and thought you were such a neat, unique voice of something that Bedford's just not really had and the Bower Center's not had before. Which is why, when my former programming person, Lauren, said, hey, I think I want to go with this one. I'm like, then pull the trigger. Let's go. Can you tell me a little bit about the Virginia Commission for the Arts and what it means to be a touring roster? I'm not sure a lot of people know anything about that.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay, first, I would like to give a shout out to the Virginia Commission for the Arts. Amazing team of people there. Amazing, amazing, amazing. There is a passion. Their passion is around bringing art, one, to communities. Just something that I've experienced recently with them is just bringing art to a lot of communities that otherwise wouldn't have these experiences so easily.
Bingo. We are there.
Possible. But yeah, what I say, yeah, the small towns, right? And that's actually a homework assignment I have right now. Is that we have two counties that we're trying to bring live music to, but that's also something I'm passionate about: is bringing live music to communities that otherwise it'd just be a lot. Like I said, nothing's impossible, but it is a lot harder to access these concert experiences. I strongly believe that live music is not a luxury. It is not. It is a necessity in these communities. in the arts all around. So Virginia Commission for the Arts, that is their job, is to bring this music and to help artists like myself. Touring is expensive. Ooh, goodness, touring is expensive.
Right. For
um,
you and for us.
the artists, yes, yes, exactly. So, um, the artists that apply and the artists that are awarded these grants have really put in the work on the full picture, right? The business side of things, their image, their full artist development. They have put in that work. They're vetted, and we say, Virginia Christian Arts goes, yeah, you need to be on the road. You are what we need to bring into these communities to spread more of that light that we talked about.
Yeah.
So it is an honor to be alongside these artists, just bringing live music and these experiences, the teaching arts as well. I have another program, Music of Purpose, that I bring for the kids. All of these programs back into these, back into the communities, into the schools, and to venues such as yourself
Yeah.
to make sure
So why do
you roll
why
over
do you
your way.
find
So,
these small town and these local arts organizations important? You said that you're excited to come to us, you're looking for other opportunities. Why do you as an artist and as a person find that important?
one is definitely just recognizing and acknowledging that it's not as accessible. And just like I said, live music is not a luxury; it is a necessity. I mean, firsthand testimony, first person testimony for all of that.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you'll ever meet someone that isn't like that can tell you how live music has somehow impacted them. But the other thing too is I trust the penny, right? Like I think that I could say because there's something that has to do with that. Um, the small towns are just as important as the big towns, if not more important, right? I go to where I think it's really important as an artist and where I bring my art. Community is huge for me. I don't ever want to be on a stage just to be on a stage. With purpose, on purpose is my motto. Everything I do is very intentional, and there's a lot of purpose when you say that word community. Community is purpose,
Yeah,
right? It is a
absolutely.
loaded word. Um, there's not anything that can be done without community, without connection. All of those tie into how I move with purpose, on purpose. It's not even about starting small, but I like to focus on the small because there's impact there. I love to sit in front of a crowd of people all of 10, 20 feet away and have conversations through the music, have conversations about my story. Somebody might get up and tell their story. And it's not impossible in the bigger towns. We've gone to major cities and done the same exact thing, but it's to make sure and being intentional not to count the small towns out.
Oh,
I think
absolutely.
there's a lot more in these communities and everything is community based. There's a lot more purpose for me. so
I agree with
yeah.
you. As somebody who lived in a big city and migrated to a small town, I've found the community is the most powerful thing I have here, and it's what drives me day to day to day. And I'm just thinking, you're going to be on that stage, and there's going to be somebody in that room who's going to recognize and see themselves in you and think, I don't know if I've ever seen myself in a performer before. And
Right.
even if it hits
That's
one
right.
person, that's magical.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Trust the penny.
Yeah, absolutely. So who I'm going to switch directions a little bit. What inspires you outside of music?
ooh, 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 all kinds of things. I I am I think some someone told me I'm an extrovert introvert
Okay.
where I love people until I don't. Like, like I've learned over time in my adult life that I love connecting with people. I love to bring that light to people, especially through my art. I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, until I'm just like overwhelmed. That's all that is. It's just like just being overwhelmed. It's a heavy task being a touring artist. It is with the
Yeah.
amount of people that you know and have to receive and hear these stories and whatnot. And that's
Right.
all that is. But I love people. I really do. I'm really intentional around practicing coming out of like the introvert side of things, to make sure that I can have an impact on people and connect with as many people as possible because I just love people. I do. Another thing too is I'm really big on, uh, another art form for me is cooking. I
Mm.
love cooking. I love it. I love it. I love it. It is like it's another medium for me. I love to get to the kitchen, experiment with recipes and whatnot, and I love to feed people, more people. Like,
Yeah.
something I do. I do have a food drive. I have a nonprofit, as is in the kitchen, where I've partnered with local food banks, food kitchens, and help feed and bring live music to those, that are dealing with food insecurities, uh, in my town now. And then I hope to actually tour that as well alongside my, music tour. And then also, to pair with the food, I'm a farmer, so I love nature. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
I love to grow. I farm here at home. It's a little one. Like, that's another thing I'm passionate about. I love to be outside barefoot, connecting with the grass, connecting with nature. That's another way that, we're all naturally connected. You cannot deny it. So I like to start there, while I'm being my little introverted self at home. I
Yeah.
just go out into the
Recharging that
garden.
social battery.
That's all it is. That's all it is. Like, um, with my kids, yeah, just getting out there and just being with nature, one with nature and nurturing. Because that's something I well too. I'm a mother, so I am a nurturer. I have three boys that I homeschool. I love to do that. I love to have impact that way. And then helping other parents in the community that might be headed in that direction as well.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, like those things right there: people, food, cooking, my farming. And
So
I have other art.
are
I
your
do like
boys
paint.
into music?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. My
They're singing all day to you too. You're
my
getting it
oldest.
back.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. There's no quiet time in this house. Like, my oldest, he's been on bigger stages than I have with my dad. And then he will eventually get on stage with me. He's still working on learning my music. But, my oldest, Snuggle Booger number one, so I call him, and then Snuggle Booger number two, he plays, keyboard and he sings. He's a vocalist. And then Snuggle Booger number three, he's another drummer. Um, he loves his little. I got lots of drummers in the house. But, yeah, they're all very into music. They love coming to my concerts, or really any concerts. We're huge. We love to go sit and listen to some live music. It is definitely in their souls.
Oh, I love that. All right. I'm looking at my time and thinking I'm actually over time, but we're going to stretch just a little bit longer because I got one more question that I love to end every podcast with. And that is, why do you think that the arts are important?
The arts are so 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 important, and I think, one, it's an outlet, right? I think it's so important because art does not demand the line. I think in our, especially in our society and in the world, in any, economy or society, there's a lot of, roles that we have to play, where we have these lines, where we have these rules, and we have these expectations and standards where we have to follow the line. And that's at home, that's at work, that's at church, that's, when you go
Mm-hmm.
into the grocery store to pick something up, right? We have these lines and these, like I said, like, these rules that we, and, standards that we have to maintain. We have these boxes kind of that we have to fit into, while we're operating in this economy, in this society. Art does not demand those lines. Art does not demand that we stay within those lines. But as humans, and how our brains work and how our bodies function, we have to have that outlet and that space, the safe space, to come out of these lines, to have these expressions. Because, as time would tell it, and as history would tell it, the folks that do stay in those lines for too long, it doesn't end well for them. Like,
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
without having outlets, yeah, without having these outlets to be able to express themselves freely and safely. I think we're in a unique time now, and we're so grateful to be in this time where we really get to do that. without being shamed for it. There's so many safe spaces to do so, including the stage, including the studio, including, for me, band practice, including in my kitchen with my kids or out on the farm. But that's why I strongly believe art is so important, is we get to step out of these lines and, just express ourselves freely, whatever comes naturally to us. I will say, so I shared that one time, and someone shared, well, can I climb up on these curtains right here and start pulling them down in the name of art? And I looked at him and said, sure. like,
if that's your art,
that's your art. You're safe with me.
I might give you a funny look, but
yeah, exactly. There might be some, like I said, there might be some other things to explore there. Like you can call my therapist, but if we're acknowledging that. But I think that is why art is so important, is because we absolutely, especially in our world today, everything that we're exposed to through the news, through the media, right now, we get to see everything that's happening in the world, and as humans, our brains aren't always ready for that. Our bodies are not always ready for that, because we are connected. Even if it doesn't directly affect you, the fact that what's happening to someone else is going to affect you, right? Over time, especially over time. And art is a great way to help release some of that, release everything that's loaded onto us. So no, we can't do without art.
No.
If anyone asks, we can't do that.
Thank you. That was a wonderful, wonderful answer. I'll probably quote you on it at some point. So Akeylah, I do want to thank you so much for joining us here today. I love getting to chat with the artists that we get to bring into the Bauer Center. And for all the listeners out there, please join us for her unforgettable free concert on June 13th at 6 p.m. to help celebrate our 20th anniversary. It's just one way of saying thank you to all the incredible support you all have given us over the last 2 decades, helping us to foster creativity, connection, community impact. Thanks again to the generous support of the Virginia Commission for the Arts and to our local community donors who are letting us bring this performance to the stage free of charge. And we've also got a whole summer full of art for art lovers of all ages. For all of you younger ones, we still have 3 weeks of camp left this summer. We also have 3 free family art days coming up. June 13th with children's musician Sarah Ernst. Dino Day on June 20th in collaboration with the Bedford County Public Library. And another VCA touring artist, puppeteer Tyrone Travis, will be with us on August 1st. For all the musical lovers, we have 3 concerts set for this summer series. Of course, June 13th with the Akeylah Simone Trio. On July 18th, we welcome back Virginia Hollow, the bluegrass trio hailing from Floyd. And in August, a little something different, the Fritz Schindler Band, an eclectic cover band that kind of defies description. Looking for a great date night party? On July 11th, we're hosting the Alice in Wonderland themed Very Merry Unbirthday Party in collaboration with the local production company World Weavers. It will be a night of immersive entertainment, dancing, quests, and of course the best Wonderland costumes you can come up with. And finally, in our galleries, we've partnered with the National D-Day Memorial in order to bring you the life and art of Charles M. Schulz traveling exhibition. In addition to his Charlie Brown and Snoopy fame, many people do not know that Sparky Schulz was the Capitol campaign chair for the National D-Day Memorial here in town from 1998 until his death in 2000. And for more details on all of our upcoming classes, events, programs, exhibitions, you can visit bowercenter.org, follow us on social media, or just stop in and say hello. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we will see you all soon.